All right, guys, welcome to day 3, episode 3 of the Legal Licks Lounge. So one thing that we do every single Thursday is going to be Thankful Thursday. So we're going to be sure to highlight different businesses, whether they be a small-owned business, Black-owned business, women-owned business, just trying to show support. So I am the host, Maya Reese. I have on my rich girl, Candy, today. And we're joined by Dallas, who is our local sports analyst. Dallas, what you got on? What's up?
Poor little rich boy, you know, Kentwood Academy. One of my friends from there. Got a brand inside Chicago. It's real nice. Different hoodies, different shirts, just nice apparel, streetwear apparel. Really nice.
Okay, then we're also, of course, joined by our expert, Coach Parker. What do you have on?
Maya, I got to stand up a little bit. I got Black Child. So this is my boy Matt DeLashman. He's one of my former players. He's now helping me out with the children. I wanted to wear 2 shirts. I wanted to represent my own brand, Fundamentals Training Program, or Fundamentals LLC. We currently are training out of the Pullman Center Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. And then we're also over at the Shot Lab inside Muhammad University of Islam on Saturdays from 3 to 5. And so representing my former player first, Matthew DeLashman. He has a great brand, Black Child. It's synonymous with what we need to be focusing on every day, our children.
So next Thursday, you're going to rock the Fundamental.
I rock Fundamentals. Yes, ma'am.
All right, perfect. So before we fully get started into everything that's going on later on tonight, we are 2-0. So we're going to pull up a really quick clip from yesterday because Dallas said something yesterday that was literally spot on and happened. So we're just going to pull it up really quick.
What was that? Let's see. Anthony Davis, Montrezl Harrell, those big fellas just controlling the paint. I think Frank Vogel is a smart enough coach that at some point in time, if Curry gets hot, he would just play Anthony Davis at the 5. That way he can hedge and switch on screens instead of having Drummond out there, another big where Curry can come off the screen and see a big that's not used to guarding someone like Steph Curry every single night. And he might lay off of him, let him shoot the 3, or he might get too close. Curry can finish at the rim. So I think coaching will be a big factor because Steve Kerr can coach him up a game. The paint. And also the Lakers going to have to make some threes because the Warriors going to pack it in the paint, double, scrap, dig, all that type of stuff. And the Lakers are missing the threes when they kick out to them. They just might be playing again, trying to get in the playoffs because Curry.
That's crazy that you said the Lakers are going to need to make some threes, and then it ends up being a buzzer beater 3 to secure the game. So
yeah, and like the biggest thing was, like I said, the biggest thing was really like I said, Frank Vogel made that adjustment at halftime. Really towards the end of the second quarter, he took Andre Drummond out of the game. Andre Drummond was a liability on defense for the Lakers. He wasn't providing anything offensively either. And when he put Anthony Davis at the 5, when Draymond sets that screen or any of those handoffs, Anthony Davis' length, size, and mobility, because he used to be a point guard, was able to cause big problems for Warriors offense. Even though Curry still had 37, it was like 4 or 5 clips during that game where Anthony Davis hedged on the screen, and instead of Curry pulling up and shooting, he had to pass out of it, or Anthony Davis got a deflection, or he just made Curry pick up the ball. And when you can make a ball handler pick up the ball and stop that dribble, you succeeded as a defense. And Frank did a great job last night. They would have lost that game if Drummond played the second half. I saw a lot of people on Instagram actually commenting and adding Drummond, like, man, your big ass couldn't get 10 rebounds. And I found it funny because, like, if he would have got 10 rebounds, the Lakers would be playing in a play-in game right now. He would have had to play. And Drummond added them back, like, man, I got to play longer in order to get 10 rebounds, bro. I just thought that was funny. I'm like, yeah, man, I knew that's the only way they could win the game.
Coach Parker, anything you want to touch on from yesterday's predictions?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. I think Anthony Davis was the focus. I am disappointed in his play on the offensive end. And, you know, he's a Chicago guy, so I love his talent level. I love his ability. Last year we saw, and I said to a buddy of mine, we over here yelling at the screen. I almost wish it was on TNT, because I know Shaq would have rode him like he rode him last year about not enough post-ups. Like, for whatever reason, Anthony Davis likes to hang out at the three-point line. He likes to shoot fadeaways. You know, at one point he had Draymond Green on him, and he went to a fadeaway early in the game. The man got to the line 4 times. I just feel like the Lakers didn't play to their strengths offensively. Obviously, he had a great impact on the defensive end. But if I could talk to him, like if I could play that Shaq role, I would tell Anthony Davis, I want you to go and study the original Anthony, the original AD, Adrian Dantley, right? So this is one of my favorite scorers of all time. And here's a guy that led the league in scoring, you know, a couple years in a row. He averaged 30 points a game like 4 or 5 times, you know, consecutive years, and never dunked the ball. Everything was always downhill, was head and shoulders face. He never shied away from the contact, you know, and you literally watch him. He's what I call the original hybrid power small forward guard, right? And he was a matchup problem for anybody, you know, that you know, had to guard him. You know, guys that were 6'10" were calling for help. Guys that were 6'4", his age, his size, was calling for help. You know, he torched the Bulls, you know, when he was with the Pistons. And, you know, I just watched him. He had a repertoire of moves. And one thing he did that I really love is that he lived at the line. One thing I say about Anthony Davis, he shot 4 free throws last night, right? Montrezl Harrell shot 4 free throws. Anthony Davis played 42 minutes, and he shot 4 free throws. And keep in mind, he's every bit of 7 feet, but right now he's playing more like he's 6'12". Like it's almost like he doesn't want to be what he really is. And that's a big man, right? And I get it. He's one of the most versatile players in the league. He can make the three. He can step outside. But in playoff basketball, he got to get in that paint, bro. You got to get some points in the paint. And if Andre Drummond is not there, then it got to be you. You know, he said last year he's that dude, man. Be that dude for us, right? I just say this, Draymond. I was a little bit disappointed with Draymond as well. You know, Draymond, bro couldn't buy a bucket if he was at KFC. And I threw a stat line out there, and I'm like, Draymond can give me 10 points. You know, he got 9 rebounds, he got 8 assists, and he got the tech. I don't know if anybody took that bet, but he got the tech early. But I mean, you know, bro, I you know, he couldn't find a bucket if he was in a janitor's closet. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You in the NBA, you know, get a layup, get something. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rooting for him because I wanted to kind of see how well, you know, his game fit inside of where I saw him in the game in terms of having an impact. But he was 0 for 5. You know, he had 2 points. 9 rebounds, he gave me that. 8 assists, he gave me that. You know, he was going to agitate. You know, he pulled AD down. It looked like he was kind of, you know, starting to muck up the game a little bit, which is his MO. But you got to give me some points too, bro. You need at least 10 points. 10 points from Draymond, they get that victory. That's it, though. You know, that's my recap. Let's get into this next thing.
All right, perfect. So on the lineup tonight, we have the Wizards versus the Pacers. So what are some of your predictions for that game tonight?
It's going to be a lot of points scored.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of points scored on both. For sure. I want to get right into the key players, man. I'm excited about this game tonight, actually. So, key players for me in this game will be Russell Westbrook for the Washington Wizards. And the reason why it would be Russell Westbrook for the Washington Wizards is because he had a bad game yesterday. The last time they played, he didn't play well. They lost to Boston. He didn't utilize his size against Kemba Walker, who was way smaller than him. At guard, he didn't assert his dominance. He didn't rebound. He didn't do anything. He didn't look like Russell Westbrook at all to me. He left the game early, walked back to the locker room like he was limping slightly. So I think that type of player that plays with that much fire, I don't think that you're going to hold him down for long at all. So I don't think he's going to have 2 bad games. I think that the way Indiana is set up, they don't have a big. You don't have a big that can protect the rim again.
Oh, it looks like he cut out.
Lost Dallas again.
I think so. But he did make a good point about Russell Westbrook. He's a walking triple-double. So even if he does have a bad game, that's not really going to happen again. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, you know, Dallas is making we make a lot of similar points. I think Russ in a what do you call it, closeout game, a final game. You know, this is a game to go home. I think everybody's going to bring all they got. You know, so I feel like Russ is going to easily get a triple-double. You know, I just throw mine out, Dallas. I'll come back to you. I feel like Bradley Beal it has to show up. You know, he had an off night against Tatum. If Bradley Beal was just regular Bradley Beal, even with Tatum going for 50, if Bradley Beal was the regular 30 points that we know he truly is, I feel like Washington would have won that game, but he was off. So in a game like this, I feel like Bradley Beal is, and this is a long shot, but I really don't think it's that long. I feel like Bradley Beal is ready for a 50-piece, extra spicy tonight. Last time he played the Pacers, I think he gave him 50 as well. And so my question is, who do they have that can stop Bradley Beal? Right? Who do they have that's going to contain Bradley Beal? If you can name me one player on that team that can stop Bradley Beal, you know, maybe Brissett, but you know, again, it's Bradley Beal. It doesn't matter who you throw at him. It don't matter who you throw at him. You know, he's going to get his. And you watch him, he's never shied away from the contact. And again, he's one of those guys, and I like guys like this, that they're going to get to the line, they're going to get into the paint, and they're going to make high percentage shots. And again, I got to go back to the Anthony Davis. This is what I want to see from Anthony Davis. If he can go back and be the Anthony Davis that he was last year, you know, the Lakers could find their way back to the Western Conference Finals. But if he's not, I don't see it happening. Obviously, Russ has to be himself, and then they got to double Sabonis. I feel like Sabonis is the only legitimate threat, you know, to operate out there on the court. And so Brogdon to have his hands full with Russell. So if they can double the ball out of Sabonis' hands, and then they can get Ish, you know, going off the bench. He's a ISO guy that can get points, you know, against anybody. I think Washington wins this. I think they're playing angry tonight. Russ, Bradley Beal, the whole coaching staff.
Sure.
Yeah, Dallas, I'm gonna go back to you. Then I'm gonna go back to the
Pacers player.
Yeah, Pacers, yeah.
So yeah, like I said, Russell Westbrook going to dunk on people's head tonight. Nobody for Indiana can stop him from finishing at the rim. No one. They don't have a shot blocker. Miles Turner is out the game. That's their only shot blocker. He's a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Sabonis can't jump over a phone book. You know how they used to say that about Zach Randolph when he was in Memphis? He can't jump over a phone book, but he can get 30 and 10, 25 and 10 every night, get all these rebounds. Sabonis is the same way, but that don't protect your rim. I think the key player for the Pacers will be Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon will have to show up because he's going to have to try to slow down Westbrook. He's the only person that's physically strong enough and mentally strong enough to be able to slow Westbrook down and make Westbrook guard him. Brogdon he just got the old school game. He going to take his open shots. He 50, 40, 90 player. He going to make his open threes. You give him a three. He going to take what you give him. You give him a three, he's going to take it. You give him the drive, he's going to take it. You give him the mid-range, he's going to take it. He's going to make the right decision every single time tonight. And especially with Sabonis, like Coach Parker said, he's going to have to get double-teamed. If Brogdon can make those open shots or make the skip pass, the next pass to that next man in the corner, Indiana might have a shot if they're making shots. That's the only way they have a shot in this game. Malcolm Brogdon has to come to play. He's going to have to assist, rebound, and score the ball. He's going to have to affect the game in all aspects. And he will have to get to the free throw line and try to get Russell Westbrook in foul trouble. That's the only way Indiana wins. But no Brogdon, no way.
Okay, Coach Parker, who's your key player for the Pacers tonight?
Yeah, with all due respect, the White Russian, Sabonis. He's a walking double-double. He's actually last 15 games, he's a walking triple-double. And so, you know, he Dallas mentioned he can't jump over a phone book, but that's not the name of the game. You don't get points for jumping over phone books, right? He can put the ball in the bucket, right? He can get rebounds. You know, you see him, he's playing with a black eye. So, you know, when I think about him, you look, he's pushing, he's right there. And then again, we talked about it the other night, he's a left-hand cover. So how are you going to stop a left-hand post player with good footwork? And so, yeah, that's the key for me. And there it is. He can't dunk, but he can score. Go back to Adrian Dantley. Man, hey, look, Adrian Dantley led the league in scoring consecutive years and never dunked the basketball. Led the nation in scoring as a collegiate All-American. Never dunked the basketball. So for me, it's all about technique, footwork, right, and effectiveness. He tried to dunk and so that's the key. I think for the Pacers, the keys for the team is to play with a moderate pace, to stay within that system and to stay hot. You know, last game it was McDermott. You know, this game it could be anybody, right? It could be Brissett. It could be any of those guys coming off the bench. They got a Lamb. Is it Lamb? Was Lamb playing?
I'm out again. They got Holiday. They got Holiday.
Yeah, Holiday. Right. So they gotta find that other player. But I feel like whatever player they find, everything kind of has to go through Sabonis, and Brogdon obviously has to control the pace.
So
my pick though is Washington. Yeah, Russ triple-double, Bradley Beal. This is a long shot. I don't know if anybody want to play this one, but Bradley Beal close to a 50 piece. I think he has a lot to make up for the game from Tuesday.
And he pissed the Tatum had 50. You gotta go for 40 or 30. I know
that's
30. I know Bill gets 30 tonight.
Yeah, easy. But I think 50. I think he got, he went home. If he's I think he's a player. He's a player's player. So he know if I got 20-something last game, I got to make up. I got to get 60 this game. So I think in his mind, he's coming for 60, and it'll probably settle at around 48, 47, maybe 50.
So for you, Dallas, what would you say is just one of the steps that you think the Pacers would need to win the game tonight?
The Pacers will have to make the three-point shot. They don't have a chance. They don't make threes. They don't have a chance. They got to outscore Washington because the Pacers this year, since they missing their bigs, ever since Miles Turner has been out, the Pacers were one of the slowest paced teams last year in the NBA. They used to play slow, through the post, all of that. Now, as soon as Turner went out, they're a fast-paced team. They let Sabonis rebound, and everybody runs and try to get up as many shots as possible. That's a dangerous game to try to play with the Washington Wizards, but they don't have an option but to play that game because they're going to have to try to outscore them. Only way you're going to outscore Washington tonight if you're the Indiana Pacers is the three-point shot. So they made all their threes the other night. They're going to have to make them all again. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's why they play the game. Keys for success for the Wizards will be Russell Westbrook's dominance. Triple-double Westbrook. Hachimura has to get more shots. I said he was going to be a key player the other day. He was 3 for 4 from the field. He couldn't defend Tatum. Nobody can when he's that hot. But he was 3 for 4 from the field. He's shooting 75%. Why he's not shooting the ball anymore? You got to give him his touches. And also, Davis Beatrice, the three-point sniper. It will be a high-scoring game. Indiana's gonna try to collapse on Westbrook in the paint, collapse on Beal in the paint. Beatrice gonna be picking and popping, and man, I think he hits about 3 threes tonight at the very least. He's a sniper out there, and Washington just got a gang rebound. Westbrook coming to rebound tonight, so I don't think Sabonis gonna kill him on the boards.
Okay, so the final predictions, Coach Parker. You say Pacers. Dallas, you say Wizards?
No, ma'am. I said Wizards. Yeah, I got to go with Wizards. They angry. So they playing with a chip on their shoulders, and they got a lot to prove. I think the Wizards, by 7, 8, maybe even 9.
Yeah, I think Wizards. I don't think they came this far to go home. I think they just the more resilient team. They got more them players that didn't get spoon fed. Like I think the Pacers got a couple players that was spoon fed. Wizards, Bill, that backcourt, nah, they want this game tonight. They ain't going home.
All right, perfect. So on each episode, we do give away a free pick. But before we do that, I think we should talk a little bit about some of the NBA awards that are coming up, since that's a really hot topic right now. So do you all want to give your predictions for Coach of the Year?
Yeah. I have one. I don't think anybody's going to give it to him, but I feel like he can be Coach of the Year every year. And I say that because everywhere he goes, he has less talent, but he always gets the most out of his team. So he does more with less, and that's every team that he's gone to. So my pick, and I don't think he's going to win it because I don't think he's really been truly appreciated. He's one of them guys who's going to get his flowers, when he leaves the game. But it's Nate McMillan. Nate McMillan was an assistant coach. He took over for a coach that got fired, and from the time he took over, they went on an 8-game winning streak. They were 8-0. They finished the season. Nate McMillan, I think, finished the season 27-11. I think they had the best home record since the All-Star game, 13-2. And then they had a winning record on the road at 10-9. And so, people gonna say, it's whoever, Steve Nash is this person, this is that person. But I don't think anybody could have done the job that Nate McMillan has done with a team that was headed. Now they were tanking, they were going to the basement, and he took the elevator. He got them everybody on the elevator. We're going to the top floor. To me, they've been just about the best team since the All-Star break.
Mr. Legal Licks, Dallas, what do you think?
Man, I like Thibodeau in New York. Nobody had the Knicks. No one had the Knicks as a 4 seed in the East. They had, the top 4 teams, of course, the Bucks, Philly, Nets, and they had Boston rounding it up. And then after that, it's a random. Who knows? I feel like that Thibodeau has taken that Knicks team to a new level. They're playing defense at a crazy level. They were a young team, and the fact that they're young, that's the biggest part about it. He took a young team, and they're playing like an older team. Yes, they added Rose there, a veteran, but they're young. It's Randall, Barrett, Bullock, Noel. It's like no one's been in the league more than 6 years, I think. 4 of the starters have not been in the league more than 6 years, but they played like a veteran team. Thibodeau's job he's done with them has been amazing. They won the top 5 defenses of the NBA. Tibbs did his thing. So that's who I think should get Coach of the Year. Is he going to get it? Probably not. And I ain't gonna lie, I gotta mention my boy Steve Nash. Of course, people not gonna say nothing about Steve Nash because he got the best 3 players, probably ISO players ever to touch a basketball. But you can put those players out there if you don't got a good system. And if you just watch the Nets play basketball, it's just wonderful. It's like poetry in motion. Like it just flows so perfectly, no matter who's on the floor. It's just everybody shares the basketball, all that type of stuff. So yeah, Steve Nash would be my other one. Of course, Monty too, but the coaches voted Monty, but
yeah, I like Monty Williams. He's one of the best coaches in the league, and I feel like he's going to win it, and he deserves to win it. I just wanted to make a point that Nate McMillan has been doing what Monty Williams has done all of his coaching career, and he's still yet to really, be acknowledged. And it's almost like they'll bring in Nate McMillan, for a team, Nate McMillan, and get him up, and then they'll let him go and try to bring in, some high profile coach, a D'Antoni or whoever, So I just want to give my boy some credit. Nate McMillan is one of the best coaches in the NBA. He's always been one of the best coaches in the NBA. And
it's a piggyback off you, Nate McMillan. So earlier in the year, I would bet Atlanta. I'm like, what I'm saying? I like Atlanta the team. The team was perfect, right? Mm-hmm. Before Nate McMillan got there, when they still had Rondo, they would play Rondo at point guard and then play a stretch 5. Like they play Solomon Hill at the 5. I'm like, man, what the hell are you doing? Like, what the coach just before Nate? Like, what the hell is you doing, man? Like, why are you playing Rondo and not putting a conventional center in the game so that his pick and roll can be effective? Rondo in a pick and roll with a real big, it don't matter who it is. If they can catch the ball and lay the ball up or dunk the ball, they're going to succeed. He playing Solomon Hill at the 5 and making Rondo a pick and pop point guard. So you want Rondo to finish at the rim every time instead of having Rondo have the option to throw the lob or if they collapse on him, kick it out. And as soon as Nate McMillan came, you never saw that again. Then Rondo got traded and everything, but you never saw that second unit have a stretch 5. Like, come on, dude, what you doing? That's why he shouldn't be coaching the NBA no more. I should have coached the Hawks. If I would have coached the Hawks, they would have been winning from the jump. They'd be the 2 seed right now.
It ain't that easy. It ain't that easy. Start with some of this youth basketball. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna find out real quick how difficult it is to coach. Yeah,
for sure.
Well, if you look on the screen, I added a comment from someone on YouTube. They mentioned Monty as well, so they were on the same page as you. So I definitely encourage everyone who's watching this live stream, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, you can let us know your thoughts with these predictions as well. And so I say now it's time to kick over. And what do you all think about 6th Man of the Year? You want to start, Coach Parker?
Sure. Chicago, Derrick Rose. As soon as he got there, they became a playoff team. Before he got there, and obviously a lot of the credit goes to Tibbs. He was one of the coaches that I would mention. Me and Dallas had this conversation earlier, and I talked about Tibbs. But I'm a black man, so I'm always go and look to give credit to my brothers who don't normally get the credit. Tibbs has been Coach of the Year, and he's obviously one of the best coaches in the league, especially defensive coach. But a lot of that credit he has to share with Derrick Rose. A lot of it because Derrick Rose made them a team. Before Derrick Rose got there, they had a young fella at point guard, but you really have to know and understand. And I say this almost every show. You're only going to go as far as your leader, and your leader is your point guard. Emmanuel Quigley is a good young point guard, but when it comes to playoff basketball, you got to put the ball in Derrick Rose's hands. And you think about how many games Derrick Rose won coming down the stretch. How many late game situations have Derrick Rose put the team on his back and put it and dipped his shoulder and went and got a bucket or made a play for somebody else? So he's a former MVP and he still got it, but he's mature and he knows the situation. Quickly is learning, and it's a good 1-2 pair. But I bet you best believe late game situation, Rose is gonna have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and even when he was earlier in the season, when he was on the Pistons and there were rumors of the trades and they were listing the different options, as soon as I saw New York and saw Tibbs, I was like, he's going there. He's definitely going because they're a great player together.
They are. Yeah, they are. I think the Bulls was on the list, and I was like, oh, if they get Rose, you know, I feel like if the Bulls would have got Rose, the Bulls would be in the playoffs. They would have taken Washington or any one of those play-in teams, just because he'd have gave them, he would have settled them in late game situations. I think that means a lot. You know, you could play 3 or 4, we could play 3.5 quarters. But when you get to the fourth quarter, you know, who are your finishers? Derrick Rose is one of the best finishers in the game.
Exactly. Dallas.
Along with LeBron James, as we saw last night.
Man, my 6th man of the year is Jordan Clarkson. He done it from start to finish on one of the best teams. Of course, he's in a great system as well, so that helps him a lot. I mean, dude, just a walking bucket. He come off the bench for Utah and he just scores the ball. It's like, goodness gracious. It's like soon as he left LA and then he got all tatted up and just became a new person over the one summer. I mean, Jordan Clarkson entered the NBA with no tattoos and a fro. The man came back one summer and had leg sleeve, arm sleeve, neck sleeve, everything. He was all the way tatted up and just turned into a bona fide gangster on the court. And man, dude just scored the ball from all levels, gets to the free throw line, dunk on you, shoot the 3 ball. I mean, he's just a bona fide scorer, and I think he's on one of the best teams in the NBA, the best team in the NBA, actually. And I mean, he deserves the 6th man of the year. I like the Rose pick a lot, but I mean, Jordan gonna win it. You can put your money on Jordan Clarkson. Like, this is the coach of the year bet. That's who we like. But this one, I think you can put your money on Jordan Clarkson. He like -200, so there go a bet for y'all. That's a bet. Jordan Clarkson will win 6th man of the year. Guarantee you that.
Yeah, I agree. Clarkson will win. I agree. Monty Williams will win. You know, I always like to root for the person that doesn't get the credit that they're due. So you got to give Rose some credit. But yeah, I agree. Jordan is deserving. He's probably going to get it. Monty, I think, is going to get it. Yeah, D Rose is the glue. Relic, he know it. D Rose is the glue. Any situation, any team he goes to.
So if we are talking about the Knicks, a lot of people have projected that the most improved player would probably be Julius Randle. Is that Knicks?
Yeah, without a doubt. We have no disagreement on that. Yeah, I call him the jukebox.
No,
because he plays all night. You know, put a quarter in him, he gonna play all night. All right. And he's expanded his game. You know, I watched him in a matchup against Zion Williamson. And I mean, they were toe to toe. They were going toe for toe. And I heard someone say, you know, Julius Randle, I think it was Charles Barkley, said he's a better version of Zion Williamson. Now, I kind of, not a better version, I would just say a more seasoned version. You know, he takes the contact, he'll get to the line. You know, he does it in multiple ways. But the best part about his game now is he's extended his game and he can shoot the 3. Yeah, he's the real deal. And we're gonna see. What's that you said? He's Zach Randolph, but he got a little more explosiveness. Right, and he can shoot more
explosiveness.
yeah. Oh yeah, and
I mean, I agree. Yeah, and he a gangster. For instance, so it was a game the first game the Dallas played the Knicks this season. Maxi Keebler apparently locked up Julius Randle. Right, that's what they were saying. So someone for the I'm trying to pull it up. Someone for the Mavericks that worked for them, like one of their coaches, said that Maxi is like the lockup Julius Randle stopper, right? So game 2, Julius Randle give Maxi Keebler 30. And then after the game, he tweets like, I mean, he gets on Instagram like, yeah, just the guy who y'all pissed me off. It was personal type shit. So he just gave it to Maxi Keebler, man. It's like that's the best part about Julius Randle game to me. That Julius Randle is a gangster. Like, he's a gangster. He left-handed. He don't care about who you are. He gonna go at you all night. And the part of his game that he really improved on the most to me, along with his 3-point shot, is his playmaking. Randall had a couple triple-doubles this year. I'm sure he had at least 5 or 6 triple-doubles this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was the best part of his game I feel like he improved on. I want to pull up this Randall versus Keebler.
You said it. You said it in his demeanor. It doesn't matter who's in front of him, right? He's a freight train, and he's gonna walk over you. You know, you could be AD, and because he does it in multiple ways, he always adjusts his game according to who he's playing. Or he has a smaller player on him, he's gonna take him down in the post. He has a bigger player, he's looking at the guy like, oh, he ain't got a whole lot of footwork. I'm gonna take him in the mid post. Or I'm gonna take him outside, and I'm gonna do a couple step backs. And his jumper is much improved. His footwork is tremendous. And obviously what Dallas just said is passing. So most improved. And we say most improved, we're not just talking about the numbers. We're talking about his skill set. Like, you can see that the man has clearly worked on all aspects of his game.
Okay, perfect. So, Mr. Legal Licks, are you ready to give out the pick for today?
Yes, I am. Okay. My free pick for today is the Seattle Storm. I know y'all like, man, he like this WNBA stuff. Yeah, I do like the WNBA. I think the Seattle Storm will win tonight. They should cover the spread as well. Another bet, if you want to just take a safer bet, maybe not even, Seattle Storm over. They score a lot of points. That's what they do. Sue Bird, Breanna Stewart, probably the best WNBA player right now until Elena Deladon comes back. When Elena comes back, I love her. But I think the Storm will win tonight. They play the Lynx. The Lynx are missing Odyssey Sims. They're missing her a lot, I feel. She got traded in the offseason. She was their point guard last year. She's like one of those game-banging point guards. The Lynx will have an advantage on the inside with Sylvia Fowles, but I think that the Storm will just be able to outscore them. So I'm taking the Storm tonight.
Yeah, man, listen to this man. One of the guys at work, he messed with you, my boy Jamal. He like, man, hey, Dallas, I rock with Dallas. He said, hey, I woke up to a paycheck this morning. You know what I'm saying? I woke up to a young stimulus this morning. I'm like, what you get? He like, man, bro, $1,200. Man, I messed with Dallas. I won $1,200. I'm like, okay. You know, so I might start checking these bets out with you.
Man, I won about $5,000 last night myself, man. Not too shabby. Off of like $800. So, you know, chilling. So, man, I'm ready for tonight. Ready to watch these games.
Someone asked spread or over.
Whichever one. It's kind of up to you. I like them both. I like both bets. The over, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for the Storm no matter what. And should be a high-scoring game both ways because I don't think the Storm can actually mess with Sylvia Fowles down there either. It's really weird with the Lynx team because they were good last year, but they're missing that point guard. So it's like when you're missing a point guard on the team, it changes the dynamics of your team. And we're early in the WNBA season, so I'm just basing it off of what I've seen so far. The Lynx don't look up to par. Don't forget, they do have really, really dangerous players. So this is probably one of the closest free picks I'm going to give out. This is one of the closer games. Or the other one I like as well is the Wizards. So you can pick either one of those bets. I'm going to give y'all a parlay tonight. Fuck it. The parlay I'm playing tonight is the Washington Wizards and the Seattle Storm. Then I'm taking Vegas Golden Knights plus 2 goals just to boost me up a little bit on my parlay. So that's what I'm playing tonight. So we'll see how it goes. I don't recommend parlays, though.
You got Russ on a triple-double?
Oh, and Russell Westbrook triple-double. My bad, Coach Parker. Russell.
Okay.
Let's sub that Vegas bet with Russell Westbrook triple-double, man, on that parlay.
Perfect. Somebody said, appreciate you guys in the info. That's what we're here for. This was day 3. Hopefully we can come back tomorrow and be 3-0, but we will see. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow.